Hello friends and fellow bee enthusiasts. Welcome back to the Windwalker Bee Farm Yard. Today is April 7th. It has been 12 days since I split this hive. I'm going to get back into it today and probably into that hive too. It's only been 12 days, so I don't know that I'll see signs of a mated queen in here or find a queen. But I'm gonna look for that. It seemed like the number of bees coming in and out on the landing board were a lot less, so I'm thinking if it doesn't look like they're doing very well, I'll take a donor frame of brood from the other hive. I don't know, I'll make that decision when I get in here. I've got a couple things I want to try later. I noticed there were ants in here, so I want to put some blocks of wood coated with something the ants won't cross underneath, jack up the hives. I had an idea about using these stickers to kind of mark what was on each frame. I've been told that the bees might really try hard to get rid of the stickers, so we'll see how long they last, or if I remember to do it. If I see hive beetles being a problem, I got a different kind of trap. The beetles, and I mixed up some murder sauce, which is basically fat and diatomaceous earth and a little eucalyptus oil to put inside here, and it won't hurt the bees because it'll be protected in here where only the beetles can get in there to it. So and if everything's looking good, I might put a honey super, some honey frames on this hive, because I'm really worried that these girls in the original hive are going to run out of space, and I don't want them to continue to feel like they need to swarm. So I will get the smoker lit and finish suiting up, and we will get started. One of the things I forgot to mention, I added these straps because of a storm that rolled through here last week. They were saying it was supposed to have 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, which I didn't notice that. But it's something I need to have in place for hurricanes, which happen here. Might go with bricks in the future, unless there's a big storm coming, because I'm probably going to trip over that loop. what's going on in here. Little girls. That's the remains of a pollen patty that I put in here because I was a little worried that these girls would not have any forager bees. And there are maggots underneath of it. That was disgusting. I see a lot of bees on these frames over here. So the hive still has plenty of bees. Thinking probably going to find that they haven't used very many of these frames. Which is correct. I haven't used that one yet. Use that one yet. Really good at gluing these frames in place. Okay, they're starting to draw some comb. Nice. Get rowdy on me. And they have bridged this frame. Okay, this is a frame that was a piece of see in the light how shiny. There's nectar in these frames. And that's a little bit they've capped over. These are being drawn out. I'm seeing nectar and pollen in this one. And a hive beetle. Don't let me forget to put some murder sauce in here. All right, I'm seeing a queen cell, and I believe capped brood. So there might have been larvae on this frame that they capped in the last week. That right there There's a queen cell, we informed. That's his queen cell that looks like it may have hatched out. But that light color is also capped over larva. I'm not seeing eggs. More stores, so nectar and pollen. No larva. A few frames to go though. This frame's pretty heavy. See a lot of nectar. Some nectar that's capped over. So, capped over nectar. So that's honey. And a lot of uncapped. Of course, we got some bees. Since I smoke them, they drink up. So that one's got her head buried. Got their head buried in there. Oh, do I see eggs? I think I might see eggs right up in here. We'll have to get a closer look at that. I don't think what I was actually seeing here were eggs. Possibility that it could have been very young C-shaped larvae. Or it could have just been a reflection of the light. I looked at it close and I still not sure. So, I guess we'll find out next time. In the video, for me to be able to tell, that I'm seeing an actual egg and not just a reflection. Because my eyes are not that great. If we have there's a chance that if a queen hatched out of one of those queen cells, she would have had to hatch out a day or two after I made the split, and then I think 7 to 10 days, you guys can check me on this, 7 to 10 days for her to do a mating flight. Before she can come back and start laying eggs. And I am seeing brood on this frame and larvae. So do we have a queen? Girls have a queen. You see a big bee coming up middle towards the rail. That is a drone. Yeah, I'm totally forgetting to do my sticker thing. I just don't want to be in here longer than I have to be. I've got a fanning bee right here. So they're doing some kind of pheromone. I'm gonna have to review my bee math. If there were eggs on this in last week, I've got larvae coming up here that's still uncapped, and capped larvae. I think I'm seeing maybe some royal jelly in the bottom of some of these cells. Still some unhatched drone. I'm not seeing young brood though. So if we do have a queen that's just started laying, it hasn't been very long. And what are the possibilities that those could have been the old queen's eggs that are just not capped yet? So there's pupa in there that haven't been capped over. So we'll see if that math works. I did see a new queen cell formed, so it's possible they had an egg young enough to make an emergency queen. So we'll just keep this. There seems like there's plenty of bees in here, so I'm going to close this back up after I check this frame. We will give these girls another week or two to see where they go. All right. Get out from between the frames. Train cars are coming. Try one of these new beetle traps. 2. Murder sauce, beetle traps. The recipe for murder sauce, there's somebody else's YouTube channel that probably has a better recipe. Use Crisco, mix the diatomaceous earth into it, and a little bit of eucalyptus oil. frosting out of it. But I didn't have Crisco, but I had basically lard that I mixed in. But I'm a little worried that that's going to be too thin and it's going to get warm in here. And stuff's going to go running everywhere. But who knows? I never baited these oil traps correctly, but this one seems to have caught a lot of the hive beetles. So maybe it does work. Girls, move. I'm not going to put their feeder back on till later. I'll come back and do that. Now I just want them to relax a little bit since I smoked them and disturbed their peace. All right, it's done for the moment. We'll reset, go over to Hive 1, see how they're doing. Make sure they're not making a bunch of queen cells still. All right, we are at hive number 1. I see ants in this one, so I'm also going to make I never knew what to do with this thing when I pull it out of here. Fairly confident I'm going to put this honey super on. So I guess if they get on that frames, no harm. trying this little gizmo out. I don't know how well I'll like it. There's a couple of things that I watched from other people's videos. Little tools they sell you with the, if you buy the package, it comes with a bunch of gadgets and cheap crap that you won't use. And I thought, if I use this thing, what's going to happen is I walk and snag my leg on this and upset the hive and fall down. I think if I keep it over there, everything will be alright. It'll be okay. It'll be alright. It's gonna be a lovely day. Alright. Resources and brood. Okay. Lots of it. Quick queen check. Pretty rare she's on an outside frame. Brood. These lower cells that are open, there is some C-shaped larva. How many days that takes, I don't know. This hive is full of bees. So full of bees. The trick to this is to move slowly. When the bees feel you coming, get out of the way. Cat brood. Resources. Yeah, I'm not doing the stickers. Totally. See some of the big bees on this frame. We're still making a lot of drones. I'm not seeing emergency queen cells this time. Yet. I should knock on some wood. heavy frame. A lot of brooded larvae. The glasses fell off my face. So you'll have to help me find the queen later. Pretty much determined that no matter what, unless I do see her, that I'm going to not be donating any of these. This box is brewed to the other one. Kind of nice if we started making some honey. Very tiny, tiny C-shaped larvae in here. Very new brood, which means up at the top there could be some eggs. And my queen might be on this frame. I should probably stand back over here. Okay, this side is drawn out. Doesn't see a whole lot going on. I think it's about time for me to give them some more smoke. Getting a little bit riled up. Here we're getting into the frames where they still have plenty of work to do. So they're not completely built up as far as having no frames to work on. Just gonna give them another shot of smoke. Kind of tell by the volume level how agitated they are. Flying around my head. I also know that they're not trying to sting the glove. If they were, there'd be stingers stuck in the glove. That is not happening. Okay, that one goes over here. This one belong on this end. I'm going to put some beetle traps down in there. And that one killed. I don't see a lot of hive beetle in here though. I did put some Scott's Grub X on the ground and raked it in a little bit. It is not toxic to the bees. They don't get in it, but the beetle larvae have to make it to the ground to make their life cycle that turns them back into beetles, or turns them into beetles. So the eggs, the beetles come and rob some of the honey, or they're actually after the pollen, I think. Lay their eggs, and the little maggots fall in there, and they will crawl out of the hive and down there. So They die when they're down there, it breaks the life cycle. No more hive beetles. I regret putting that pollen patty in here, because that seems to have attracted them. But we let it burn. Give these trap murder sauce. Here. When you see me check my hands, it's to see if the bees are stinging my glove, trying to sting the glove, and also to make sure there's not a bee walking when I'm going to grab the tool or put my hands on my legs. Because if there was a bee on my glove and I put my hand on my knee to support myself for a second, I might squeeze a bee against my leg, and that's a great way to get stung. As long as I move the tool slowly, the bees will get themselves out of the way. We are all happy. All right, girls. Taking you home. Alright. Did not see the queen. Saw plenty of evidence that she's still there. Saw a brand new larva that was only a few days old. My eyes aren't good enough to see the eggs. The light's really strong. So maybe I'll review this video and see. And eggs. I'm walking around with some pollen. So I know you can fly because you got pollen on your legs. Okay. Ooh. Forgetting what I was gonna do. Yeah, forget what I'm gonna do. What we were here for. Huh? How about you go down inside for a quick second, alright? I didn't see any emergency queen cells, so my fears that this hive is going to swarm, or we made them think they did swarm, and so that urge is out of their system. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm going to put this box back up here. Carefully. arses. Move your tiny bee butts. Bee butts. Move them. Okay. And I'm going to put green. Honey frames. Undrawn, untouched. Except I do coat these with wax. Melt some beeswax. Got a tiny little paint roller. Whee! Make sure there's some wax on there already, because they will not. If it's just plain plastic, they won't build the comb directly to it. They'll sort of build it in the middle. I'll need to vacate this premises. Gone now, gone. When the frames are brand new, it almost seems like there's room enough for another frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all of them. Once they get gunky and propolis on the edges, I can barely get them fit back in. But come on, girl. Get up on the ground. Come on. Come on. Well, don't fly back to the ground, knucklehead. All right. There's a hive beetle. No more beetle snuff video. You don't like them. You don't like them. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna leave these girls alone for a little while. And we'll come out and say goodbye in a little bit. Hey, I came back to shoot this after I finished the inspection. I was talking about putting something to keep the ants away, and what I'm going to use is this Tanglefoot insect barrier. I can't read what it's made out of. It has about the consistency of Vaseline, and it is very sticky. So I set all this up to take these blocks, which I painted in my house, with it, and the intention is I'm going to take these and slide them under the hive here. So 4 of them. Get them all ready here. took an old branch and I cut like equally thick sections of a tree branch that had fallen in a hurricane last year. I figured this would be great because people paint this on trees to keep ants from crawling up and down. But the first floor I painted in the house, I realized this stuff is so sticky nasty and gooey that once you get it on something, I'm sure I'll read later about what to take this off with. You can see how gooey it is. And I've got disposable brushes that I'm using. And kind of just smear it on to the surface to make something the ants won't crawl over. But it does not wash off easily because it's meant to stay there through wind and rain and whatnot. And this was recommended to me by Dennis over at Black Hammock, who has taught me everything I know about beekeeping that YouTube didn't. But that's pretty much the process. And once they're coated and I like stacked them up and I thought, well, I'll be clever, I'll put them in a bag. This stuff just gets on everything, and I'm the one that cleans my kitchen most of the time. So to have a sticky mess that doesn't clean up very well, just not a good vibe. I'm also going to start subtly moving this hive over. If I move it a couple inches a day, or a couple inches every few days, I'm thinking it won't be as, it'll be like the bees won't notice that their hive is moved. Because that few inches isn't going to disorient them. But if I moved it too far, the forager bees that are out foraging would fly back right here and look for the hive, like, and if it was 3 or 4 feet that way, they'd be completely lost. So my theory is, if I can move this one and kind of get scooting it down, that eventually I'll be able to take that one and put it in this spot. And those bees will still find their way back because it's within that 3 feet where the bees are flying around looking for the hive, and then they see one close and they're like, nah, must be it. So that's what I've read and what they've told me. Sometimes bees don't read the same books. So I'll come out here and read that book to them, and eventually both of these hives will be up here on a platform instead of down there in that hole. Because that was the goal from the very beginning, was to not have a beehive right in this corner so we could go ahead and fix this fence. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work. I will return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Just a little bit of video of hives 3 and 4, our brand new colonies. I'm not going to get into these today. I'll save that for next weekend and give hives 1 and 2 a break. But I just wanted to show you the bees coming and going from the landing board. I come out here every day basically and look at them, watch them bring back pollen. Here, let me grab this. This is hive 3. There's one that just ran in with some orange pollen. There's another one over there that's got orange pollen on her legs. Oh, look at that! They found a secret entrance. Well, what the heck? I wonder if they're gonna... I'll have to adjust that a little bit. The girls in these hives, they did orientation flights the first day, but even the second day they were here, I already saw them getting pollen. So they just adapt quickly. Are doing very well. We'll take a look at these hives next week and see how they're doing, but from the way I see in their activity on the landing board, I think they're doing just fine. So if you liked what you saw today, give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to know when I post the video of seeing how our brand new colonies are doing. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.